welcome you all for the Vembu webinar series. For those who are newly joined, say myself, Nagarajan. I'm the Director of Product Management with Vembu. And so I do see there are a lot of new faces for our today's webinar. So we will give you I will brief about Vembu technologies. What do we do? So before that, I would like to set the ground rules. So guys, you will be all in listen only mode. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to chat with our team. They will be available to answer your questions in the chat section. So if you are not getting any response immediately, so we will try to answer your questions before we end this webinar, or we will respond to your questions to your email ID. So okay, so for those who are new to Vembu Technologies, we are offering a backup and disaster recovery solution since 2002, and we have more than 60,000 plus businesses using our software across 100 plus countries, and we headquartered in India, Chennai. So and we do have office in USA. So we do a lot of all those development and engineering works from our Chennai office, and we do provide 24/7 support. So this is a brief background about Vembu Technologies, and so I hope it's now time to begin the webinar. So the topic we took today is like how you can set up a near zero data loss IT environment, because we know there are a lot of IT admins struggles to set up such an IT environment, because the data loss which leads you to the business loss, so that those who are a part of IT team always make sure any type of disaster will not affect lead into a huge data loss, because this usually the data loss will end up into revenue loss, or it may actually end up into bad customer experience. So that we took that particular topic for the today's webinar. So this is my agenda today, and I will explain what I mean, how you can avoid a data loss, or how you can make sure you have a better backup or DIA system to avoid, to get a near zero data loss, and how Vembu will help you to achieve that. And I will end off before ending the demo, I will show you the product demo. So how it works in a real-time environment. So usually this is a question from the IT admins. With my past experience, say I've been with this backup and DR industry for more than 10 years, and I've been talking to more than thousands of IT admins. So every IT admin would like to make sure the continuous data protection. Say at any cost, they don't want to lose their data. At any cost, they don't want to hold their production environment. So because this is a primary request of any IT admin. So if the business may differs, it may be a small scale business, or it may be a mid business or enterprise, but the agenda of each and every IT team is the same. They would like to get a better IT infrastructure which has continuous data protection and near zero data loss. So that is their goal. So that we took this topic because we as a backup software vendor provide such an option with our Vembu BDS suite, completely free of cost. So we provide a free edition, so which helps you to do all such activities. So so how we can, what is near zero data loss? Okay, there is a question. So it is not like you will be able to completely recover everything. So and again, see, it's not completely possible. So that say there is a minimal data loss we can bear with that. so that data loss may not affect you at all. So we will explain in our next slides. So okay, so usually why should you aim for this near zero data loss? Okay, so usually as I explained earlier, the data loss which leads you to, I mean, the productivity disruption, which is like say after any type of disaster, there should be a minimal downtime. So the downtime should be a minimal one. So if goes to beyond a day or two or a week, then obviously it will affect your business. So right now, any type of business, it may be small or enterprise or mid. Okay, it may be any type of business. So no business can afford 1 or 2 day downtime. So that is the reason we need to make sure we have continuous data production. So, and again, I say this again leads you to revenue loss, and again, it will actually create a bad name among your client base. So these are all the main reason. Again, the data loss or disaster can be anything. It may be due to a natural, say, like earthquake or any type of, say, flood or whatever it may be, or it may be a simple human error, or it may be a power outage. So, or it may be a ransomware attack. Okay, so it may be anything. So it will create a data loss and it will create a downtime to your IT environment. So how we can avoid such environment, and in such environment how we can make sure we are not losing huge data. So that is the main goal we took today's webinar. So usually the data loss, which leads to the productive disruption, which is like so the downtime. So the downtime, how we can avoid the downtime. So usually to avoid downtime as a backup software, see right now the backup software is not only for backing up and archiving the data. Backup software now bundled with a business continuity option, so that if anything goes wrong with your IT infrastructure, like it may be a VM or physical machine, you will be able to instantly recover all those data. So that is the option which will help you to reduce the downtime. And again, the data loss again, see, it's not only due to a natural disaster or whatever it is. So it is also due to hacking attempt, or it may be due to a ransomware. So you need to make sure, the losing confidential information or personally identifiable information of your client is actually lead you to lawsuit, all those stuff. So you have to make sure. So these things will not affect your business. So you need to have a strong backup and DR solution and replication solution to avoid the downtime, as well as losing your customers' data. And again, as I explained, there's no need further explanation required at all. So it will obviously lead you to revenue loss. And again, yeah, it will actually, bring your brand into kind of, the customer will lose their trust among, with your brand. So obviously they will go to your competition. Okay, so in a general perspective, how you can avoid such things. Okay, I hope there are no huge education required for any IT admin, because you are dealing it with every day to day. Like so you need to make sure all your hardwares are up to date and you have a latest firmware updated, so that you will be get a better security through the hardware. And again, so you have a better firewall and security measures to avoid any type of ransomware or hacking attempts. And again, you need to make sure you have a better backup system implemented in your data center. So, and periodically, we recommend you to do a recovery process, so that during any disaster, you will not be surprised that see, whatever data backed up has also got corrupted. So and again, say you need to increase the backup frequency. And again, there is a trick. Say it is not actually possible to increase the backup frequency with every backup software, because whenever you do the backup, it will actually lead you to utilizing the your resources and the bandwidth for backup activities. Okay. uh, while during the production hours, normally people won't like to interrupt their bandwidth or resources, so that they don't want to do the backups more frequently. So what they do is they do backup every day, or maybe once in every couple of hours, or once in every 6 hours. So this again lead you to huge data loss. So how you can increase the backup frequency? So I will cover this all those topics later. And again, it's better to implement the 3-to-1 backup strategy, so that you will be having 3 copies of your data in two different types of disk, and one is an offsite. So, and again, say for any critical service, we recommend have high availability, so that if anything goes wrong, you can instantly fire up all those VMs, physical machines right away, fail over those machines right away, and you can actually redirect all the production workloads immediately without waiting to perform the recovery process from your backup data. So these are all the key points you should have to think about when you are actually trying to set up a near zero data, near continuous data production, as well as to avoid any type of data loss. So it's very simple. And again, I hope everyone is actually all the IT admins or all the IT managers are into this type of evaluations every day. But again, a few time we will not be getting the proper solution or proper software to implement all those stuff. So usually it is impossible to achieve this type of environment with your internal IT. So you should have to go for sophisticated software to do all those activities. So again, identifying such software is also a painful job. So to make sure all those whenever you are trying with any type of software which will solve your day-to-day problem, you should have to give it a try, and you need to run it as a trial in your environment, and then you need to make sure it actually satisfies the requirement. So this is how here Vembu will help you to achieve such environment. So as I explained earlier, say Vembu is offering a backup, replication, and disaster recovery as a single solution for your physical and virtual IT environment. So you may have the data center, like it may be running on all virtual machines by using VMware vSphere or Microsoft Hyper-V, or it may be physical machines running on Microsoft Windows or Linux or Mac, or it may be any cloud applications like SaaS applications like Office 365 or Google Apps. Vembu is a one-stop solution which provides a backup, replication, and disaster recovery for all your environment. So with Vembu, how you can ensure the recovery point objective. How you can minimize the recovery point objective. So Vembu is offering a image level backup solution for virtual and physical machines. And again, we are the allied partner of VMware, as well as the Gold Technology Alliance partner of Microsoft, so that we are getting the up-to-date APIs in order to perform the backups and the recovery. So we will be talk to the VM data, and then we will be backing up securely to the local storage, or to offsite, or to cloud. So when you're performing the image backups, usually see other vendors are not recommending to do the frequent backups because it will utilize the system resources. That will also it will actually utilize a huge bandwidth to transfer the data. But Vembu has a changed block tracking technology, so which helps. After any full backup, it will only track the changed blocks in between the incremental jobs. and then only the changed block will be stored into the storage target. So which will reduce the data which is going to be sent in between the incremental. So you can run the incremental every 15 minutes. And again, for VMware, vSphere, and Microsoft Hyper-V, all those virtual machines, it's all completely agentless backup. So we will not install any agent inside those virtual machines. So it will not utilize any type of resources with those VMs, so that it will just take a snapshot, and then it will software will identify the changed blocks, and the changed blocks only will be transferred to the backup server. So you will be able to run the incremental backup every 15 minutes, so which will reduce the recovery point objective, so that if anything goes wrong, there are a chance to losing a few minutes worth of data. So that is why we recommend, say, for any critical machines and any database servers like Exchange SQL or AD or SharePoint or Oracle, you can enable the incremental frequency every 15 minutes. And again, say it will complete within few minutes, and then the incremental will also, it will not going to occupy any resources at all with those VMs. So it will help you to ensure the near zero data loss. And again, say for any file servers or any type of applications, we provide two types of backup solutions. One is you will be able to back up the entire image, or you will be able to back up the specific files or the application. So in this case, you may back up the files whenever there is a modification. So it's kind of a continuous data protection. So for any file server, you will be able to back up all those files, and again, if there is any modification, only the modified data will be able to will be backed up during the incremental. So whenever there is a modification, after the modification, the backup will be triggered automatically, and it will send the data to the storage targets. So it will help you to achieve the continuous data protection. Okay, so we discussed about how Vembu helps you to run your backups frequently without utilizing huge resources, and again, say how it actually efficiently handling the data transfer by using the minimal bandwidth connectivity. So, and again, the next thing immediately comes into the mind is how fast Vembu will able to recover the data after a disaster. So it's not just backing up the data. It's not just backing up the data very frequently. So Vembu ensures RTO less than 15 minutes. And again, say if anything goes wrong to your data, you will be able to instantly boot all those virtual and physical machines into any hypervisor. Say you may back up a VMware VM or Hyper-V VM, or even a Windows Server workstation on a physical environment. You'll be able to boot them as a VM on VMware or Hyper-V or KVM. So this helps you to immediately transfer all the production workloads to the VMs. You will be instantly booting. And again, whatever modifications are happening will be also automatically stored, so that while performing the permanent recovery, you can restore all those data. So, and again, I say, while performing this instant recovery, Vembu will not do the permanent recovery. So the data will be still into compressed, deduplicated, and encrypted mode, so that by using the instant recovery technology, and again with the help of Vembu's patent file system, Vembu Hive, you will be able to boot them into VMware or Hyper-V or KVM, any hypervisors. And again, say Vembu also helps to instantly recover individual files or individual application items from Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, and AD. And again, this will help you to reduce the downtime. Say, for example, if you would like to restore some specific files or specific application item, you don't need to boot the entire VM. You just restore the individual files from the individual backups. And again, say for the critical VMs, we recommend you to go for the replication option, so which helps you to replicate the VMs from one host to another host, so you can keep a hot site and a cold site. So if the hot site is down, you will be able to fail over all the VMs into your cold site. So the cold VMs will be failovered, and then it will take all the production workloads. So you will be able to do all those pre-configurations, like setting up the IP addresses or setting up the specific networks. Like say after a disaster, you will need to reuse all those IP address and network. You can actually set up them while configuring the replication job itself. So it's a real DR. In case of any disaster, once you noticed, you just fail over those VMs, it will start taking all those production workloads. So we recommend doing this DR option for business critical VMs or physical machines. And again, apart from that, Vembu recommends to back up the data, and you may keep the data on premises, as well as we recommend you to keep a data into your offsite location or to any public clouds. It may be AWS or Azure. Also, Vembu provides DR as a service, and we have hosted our servers in Amazon Web Services. So if you want to, if you are a business not having a DR site at all, you just keep a copy to your data center and replicate additional copy to our cloud. And I mean, I say by default, automatically the Vembu BDS server chooses the nearest location to transfer the data. And then if anything goes wrong, you will be able to boot all those backed up VMs, physical machines into Amazon Web Services as instances. So, and again, if any major disaster occurs, you will be again secured with our cloud DR service. But if you are a business would like to just keep the data into your DR site across multiple locations, you can just replicate the data securely over the WAN to your offset location. See, the data which will be transferred over the LAN or WAN will be encrypted before it leaves the source machine. And again, it will be compressed, it will be deduplicated. We use AES 256-bit encryption algorithm. We provide multiple options. Either you can encrypt the data by using the key generated by the software, or you can provide a manual key, encryption key, to encrypt the data. So with those key only, you will be able to restore the data. So, and again, say we are actually encrypting the data, each and every block, by using the key which you are going to provide. So every block is encrypted, so that it's highly secured. And again, the data is encrypted in transit as well as at rest. So it's highly secured. So the 3-to-1 backup strategy, like Vembu BDS Suite is a software used by the small businesses as well as the enterprise businesses, and again mid businesses. You see, many small mid businesses actually will not go with a tape option, but instead they would like to archive the data into cloud like S3 bucket. So it's like we recommend to keep at least 3 copies of your data, one in on-site and one in off-site and one in tape storage or into cloud S3 bucket, so that if anything goes wrong, you will be able to restore the data from your offsite copies. And for longer recovery options to make sure you are comply with any type of compliance, you can keep those copies of data into tape or cloud storage. So yeah, I'm all done with the slides. And again, how Vembu is actually working in a real-time environment. I will show you my IT setup inside Vembu's test lab. See, usually I just took a Windows 22 R2 machine to show you a demo. And again, all you need to do is Vembu provides a 30-day free trial with a full feature free trial. There is no restriction. And just click on download. So you will be able to download the installer. So installer can be installed on Windows 10 or any server operating systems from 2008 R2 to 2016. And if you are looking into any virtual appliances, or if you are looking into any Linux installer, you just need to contact our support team. So they will help you to help you with the download installer, as well as they will assist you during the installation. So once you download the installer, you just run the installer. It will install all those prerequisites, and then you will be able to access the Vembu console by using any web application like Chrome or IE or Firefox. So once you log in, you will be able to see the user interface with simplified options. Like there is not much learning curve record at all to implement and utilize the Vembu software. So once you are ready with your storage volumes, it may be a local disk or it may be a network volume. So we support both SMB and NFS. So you just add the NAS or SAN or whatever storage targets. So and then Vembu provide a repository option. So you may have any multiple disk, like say 10 TB storage targets, say multiple 10 TB storage targets. So you will have option to create one single storage repository by combining them, so that so you will be seeing like 100 TB storage target to utilize for your backup activities. So, and again, you can scale that at any point. So if you want to add additional storage hard disk, you need to just extend your existing storage. You will just purchase a new hard disk, and then you can scale out by using Vembu's scale out storage functionality option. So once you are ready with your storage target, all you need to do is just go to and configure the backups of VMware vSphere or Microsoft Hyper-V or physical machines like Windows, Linux, Mac. So you could see that all you need to do is just enter the IP address or the credentials and the credentials of the ESXi host or the vCenter server. So we use vStorage APIs to talk to all those VMs, and then once the information is added, we will list all those VMs running inside those ESXi host or the vCenter server. So you have options, many options, like say either you could back up all those VMs in a single backup job, or you may create multiple backup jobs by selecting group of VMs. And again, you have option to exclude VMs or exclude disk from a specific virtual machine. And here comes the option, say if you are running any application backups, application VMs like Exchange or SQL, AD or SharePoint, you enable this option. So this option ensures the consistency of the application. Like say it will check the VSS writer status, and then it will do the log truncation optionally. So here you have options like say how frequent do you want to run the backup. So do you want to run the backup every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes or every hour, or say on any specific day, say if you want to run the backup on only weekdays or the weekend, all the options. So to avoid data loss, we recommend you to go with the every 15 minutes option, so that the backup will happen every 15 minutes. And again, as I explained earlier, after the full backup, everything else will be only the incremental. By using the changed block tracking technology, we will track the changed blocks, and then we will back up the changed blocks alone during the incremental frequencies. So you have option to make sure how many recovery points do you want to keep on your on-premises location. Say if, for example, if you want to keep only last 1 month of recovery point on premises and 1 year of recovery point into offsite location or the cloud, you have all those options to be configured while setting up the backup job. And again, as if you want to encrypt this backup job with custom encryption key, you can provide those encryption key over here, as I told you. So each and every block will be encrypted by using those encryption keys. So if you lose this encryption key, even Vembu will not able to help you to recover the data. So you have to make sure you keep them safe to perform the recovery process. So That's all. You name the job, and then you can run the job immediately. So when we talk about the performance of Vembu BDS suite, say Vembu has its own file system for the storage purpose, so which store the data into its own proprietary format, so which again helps to improve the backup and recovery performance. So unlike other vendors, we back up the data at the block level as well as we store the data at the block level, so that it actually increase or improve the performance of the VM and the physical machine backup. So again, it's applicable for all those VMs, like it may be a VM or Hyper-V VM, it doesn't matter. So you just enter the credentials of your Hyper-V host, and then it will list out all the VMs running inside those particular host. And then say the same options, you could see there is no difference at all. Let's say you can set up the frequency, and then you will be able to set up how many recovery points do you want to keep. Yeah. So managing the backup from single web console, you will not need to go multiple places to manage the backup activities or the recovery activities. And again, the same applicable for the physical machines. It may be Windows Server or workstation, doesn't matter. You just enter the credentials of those Windows Server. Say Vembu will push an agent and then it will be installed on the machine. So once the agent is successfully installed, it will list out all the volumes running inside those physical machines. So you just select all those volumes, and then yeah, the same options. You could see there is no difference. Again, see, everything is image-based backup, which has a changed block tracking technology implemented for the incremental backups. So for any VM or any physical machine, you will be able to run the incremental jobs every 15 minutes. So once you set up with your backup jobs, so it will back up every 15 minutes. And again, as I told you, Vembu has an option to automatically check the recoverability of each and every VM and physical machine it's backing up. Say for example, every day it will boot the physical and the VM machines, and then it will take a snapshot of it, and then it will send the snapshot to the IT admin. Like so you will make sure all those backed up VMs and physical machines are actually recoverable. And see, as I told you, this is a VMware VM backup. So you have an option to instantly boot it, or you have an option to instantly restore individual file from the VM. So individual application items. So let me show you how Vembu helps you to instantly boot any VM or physical machine after a disaster. You need to just select which recovery point, and then select the virtual machine. Just click next, and again you see the options, two different options. Either do you want to boot it on VMware, or do you want to boot it on Hyper-V. Say, as I told you, you can isolate your entire backup infrastructure by implementing the Vembu BDS suite into the Windows environment or physical machine, where you will be able to enable the Hyper-V role on it. And then say if anything goes wrong with your entire IT, like complete disaster, you're still able to run all those VMware VMs or physical machines into Hyper-V or VMware, so it doesn't matter. So let me choose Hyper-V in this case, and then just click restore. Restore, it's nothing but it will boot the VM by reading the data, which is still compressed and encrypted and deduplicated. So you could see there is a VM created, and then the time it is created. So it's again started immediately. So yeah, so it will boot the VM right away for you, and then you just log into the VM, and you will be able to start working on it. So your productivity will not affected immediately. So just once you realize the disaster, you just instantly boot them within few minutes. Every VM physical machine come to online, and then you will able to start your productivity. So once you are ready with your environment, IT environment back, and then just shut down all those VMs you instantly booted by using the Hyper-V, and then you can restore them to the same hardware or different hardware, say like to the same ESXi or different ESXi. you'll be able to do the permanent recovery. Say you just choose a weekend, and then you will be able to restore them back to ES6i permanently. Or say, as I told you, say if you want to just restore individual files, you will be able to just restore them right away from the UI. You just need to go to the backup server machine every time in order to perform that. From the user interface itself, you will be able to restore individual files like a browser. So you just browse them, and then you select the files or folder, and then you just specify the location where you want to restore. So this is how Vembu helps IT people to protect, backup or replicate the VMs or physical machines, and performing the recovery instantly. Say at the same time, as I told you, so in order to keep multiple copies into offsite location, Vembu provide either you go with your own data center or you go with Vembu's data center, and then you have an option to keep different retention options. Say for last 30 days of recovery point on on-premises, and again another 1 year of recovery point into offsite location or cloud location. And again, say during the replication over the WAN, how much bandwidth do you want to use? Say if you have 100 Mbps connectivity, say you want just to use 10 Mbps for the backup activity, you will be able to control all those options by using a Vembu's offsite replication process. So I just gave you a sneak peek about how Vembu helps you to avoid data loss, as well as how to avoid the huge downtime. And see, we recommend you to evaluate it by yourself. And say you have an option like say you just go to Vembu.com and you download the software. That software which you are downloading will have unlimited features. No restriction at all for the initial 30 days. And then after 30 days, either you would like to go with Vembu's free edition, you no need to pay anything. For first 3 VMs, it will be full feature backup. So you can back up to 3 VMs without any feature restriction. After that, you will be say few restrictions on the backup side. And Vembu also provides Business Essential Edition for businesses having less than 6 CPU socket or less than 50 virtual machine. So you save a lot. Less than $1,000, you will be able to completely protect your environment with the enterprise class backup. So Vembu provides both a standard and enterprise edition. So there are a few restrictions on the standard edition. So all those informations are available into Vembu.com. So I recommend you to visit our website and just learn those information. Or if you need to talk to someone, see the numbers are listed here. So if you dial the number and someone will pick and explain all your questions. So Vembu provide 24/7 support, so that you can call at any time, and then our agent will assist you right away. Or you can write an email to Vembu-sales@vembu.com or Vembu-support@vembu.com to get clarification. Or if you would like to set up a one-on-one demo session with Vembu product analyst to understand more about the product on a specific feature, or if you would like to discuss about your IT infrastructure and to get recommendations from our side, from our product analyst, we recommend you to just send a mail to our Vembu-sales@vembu.com to set up a one-to-one appointment with the product analyst. So hope everyone enjoyed the session, and again, as we are running out of time, I could see there are a lot of questions keep on coming, and I hope our team respond to your questions immediately. If you are not getting response, don't worry, we will reply you through our support team, so you will get a response within today. So guys, thanks for joining the webinar session. I'm happy that I clarified all your questions, and again, as I just pick a few options, and again I explained Vembu help you on that particular part, but it's not 100%. So if you would like to know more about it, as I told you earlier, just write an email to Vembu-sales or Vembu-support@vembu.com to set up a one-to-one demo session. And once again, thanks for joining this session. Have a great day. Bye bye.